Yo, what's up, YouTube? And it's your boy T-Bo. Welcome to another edition of Lords of the Longbox NWO Takeover Tuesday, brother. We've been taking our vitamins, doing our prayers, and I got my boy Ryan, Hollywood, whatever, because he's got a bucket beard, and I got Marky, who's bald, so I guess he's the other version of Hulk Hogan. And Jesse made the mistake of inviting us on because he's weak-willed and he got shit and he ain't got no fucking friends. So this is straight up NWO style. Lords of the Longbox. Back in your grill to talk about whatever the fuck we want to do. The first subject of the day, let's talk about YouTube channels that we just fucking hate and are stupid. All right, just kidding. All right, Jesse. You can have your show back.
All right. All right, out of the way. Okay, you got me really off my train of thought. All right. So welcome. This is episode 42. I almost said Lords of the Longbox, but Comic Conversation, and we have some new guests today. A little bit of a different panel, a little bit of a different setup for you. We're going to call this the nexus of all realities. We got people from Lords of the Longbox. We got rep from old Comic Talk, both of you guys, and the NY Warriors too, of course. So we got a lot of people here all in one, and a lot of good topics to go over. So we're not going to talk shit about people. But what we usually do here, well, we can, but we'll take that offline.
Tim, you can go now. You know, we ain't gonna talk shit.
So what we usually do is, a little bit of catch up for what we've been doing through the past week. But I know TiVo and Marky, you've been on the show, right? Marky just once during your whole Rainbow Jizz Gate.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But Ryan, Dark Side
I like
Jedi,
that.
I want to start with you, man. You want to introduce yourself to people, just kind of say what's up, and kind of plug if you want to plug something, just kind of do a little intro.
Yeah. Dark Side Jedi. My name's Ryan. Been collecting for probably the last 5 years, 6 years. Have been enjoying everything about it, meeting great people every day. Made some really good friends. 2 of them sitting across from me right now. We do a show, trying to do it weekly, but it's been tough trying to get organized. But the Lords of the Round Table, I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, check it out, Lords of the Longbox channel. And that's about it.
Right on. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. All right, Marky, like I said, you've been on here before. It was during your whole Rainbow Jizz Gate. You took on the Giant, and let's not rehash what happened there. But what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Well, change the scenery. I'm no longer in a freaking basement, as you all can see. And on top of being on the long table, long box, long movie box, whatever. Also on the New York Warriors, which we come on every 2 weeks on Monday. Those are a great bunch of guys. We actually hang out with each other. We go to cons in the city or around New York, and it's been a blast. I mean, it's I would say about a year since kind of like we've been all talking to each other, or kind of like when we met and everything on Comic Book Fanatics and various other channels and whatever. And it's been a great ride. I met great people, and I enjoy talking stuff and comic book related and pop culture. So thank you again, JLS, and no controversy this time. So we'll just have a nice old discussion.
No, it's cool, man. You can say whatever you want here.
It's cool, man.
Yeah. All right, and then we get to the Iron Fister, the hoary host himself, the Lord of the Longbox. TiVo, how many nicknames do you have, man?
Let's see. T-Bo, J-Dog Joker, T-Bone, T-Fizzle, son of a bitch, cocksucker.
What are you,
tranny fucker is not me.
What, the master of disaster, the king of sting?
Yeah, I was a tranny fucker, but I believe that's Marty, and we can talk as much shit about Marty as we can today because he can't make it and defend himself. So Marty's a
perfect
tranny fucker.
He's washing balls today at the hospital.
Oh man!
Not even his balls; it's other people's balls, which is kind of gross. Old people balls, like down to their like nutsack. When they pull their boxers down on their knees and there's still nuts in them, that's too old. Okay, that's just nasty. But
they tuck them in their socks.
Yeah. So let's do this, baby.
All right. So, one thing that I wanted to talk about first was actually Bill Finger. Right? I know you guys obviously you know who he is. You see him. He's been in the news lately in terms of getting his name involved with Bob Kane, right? But how much do you know above and beyond that, right? I mean, everybody can say, yeah, he helped create Batman. He helped kind of do, you know. But do you guys know anything else about him, or?
Well, I know now his name is all over Batman stuff because, you know, I haven't gotten seen that documentary. I think that's what you're alluding to.
Yep.
But it's how Kane basically said he fucked them out of getting anything, and like Finger literally had his finger on the creation of Batman.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Exactly. Right.
I
No,
think he created Batman. I mean, if you're gonna really go back to the Batman of the Golden Age, Bill Finger, Bob Kane came out with these drawings that you know are not what we see today, right? It's not even what we saw in 1939.
He had a red jumpsuit on.
Yeah, it was, and he had this like, it looked like, you know, when you open up a one of those Chinese fans, it looked like that was his cape.
Yeah, yeah.
And Bill Finger had a lot of input on the changes that made Batman who he was in Tech 27. So I think, you know, for the longest time, like Tim said, Bob Kane screwed him out of some credit, but he's finally getting it back, and it's a long time coming. It really is.
Exactly, right. And it wasn't just Batman. He helped with the Joker. Like, this guy came in with a playing card with a Joker face on it, and he's like, "Hey, that looks like the dude from The Man Who Laughs," which was you know, an old book. And he helped with the backstory with Robin, right? He, editorial, I guess, was like, or maybe it was Bob Kane. He's like, I want, you know, a character or sidekick, and I want him to be somebody with a similar backstory to Batman. So it was Bill Finger who was like, hey, well, why don't we make him, you know, parents dead, obviously. Let's make him a circus act, and his parents died in a, you know, circus accident. So that was him as well. But, you know, where I was going with this was I was signed up for Hulu, right? There's Runaways, and they just came out with Hulu Live, so you can see live TV on it. So I wanted to check it out, and I came across this really cool documentary. I didn't know about it. It sounds like you guys might have, but it was called
Bill Finger and I.
It was called Batman and Bill.
So, yeah. But is that a Hulu exclusive, or was it on all platforms? Oh, okay.
No, it's a Hulu exclusive. So I highly recommend checking this out if you're at all interested. So this dude, author, he was really interested in finding out like just who Bill Finger was. And at the time, there wasn't much about him. There was like a couple pictures out maybe, you know, just some really vague information out there. So he kind of dug a little bit into it. What he did was actually found out that Bill Finger did a episode of the Batman show, like the 66 Batman show. And through that, he was able to find the other guy who had billing for that episode. He reached out to that guy, and then that guy told him, well, why don't you reach out to his lady friend that he found out was his wife. So that his wife, he met up with the wife. Long story short, he went down this huge rabbit hole with the family. Turns out that Bill Finger's son, he found out he had a son also. Because the whole thing with trying to get your name onto, you know, like add your name to a book or get credit for it, it has to be somebody that you had like lineage or an heir, right? And most people didn't think there was anybody to the family. Like, it stopped there. And in fact, they thought that he was buried in an unmarked grave in a potter's field. You know, that's kind of how sad he was, like all alone. Yeah, pretty sad.
So they wouldn't have put his name on it, because I think Ryan talked about it on our show probably like 6-7 months ago, where all of a sudden you started seeing
his name.
Yeah, you started seeing his name not on like I think it was
on Batman vs Superman, I think.
Yeah, it was on the end of the movie, and some of the books. You know how at the bottom they'll say like, you know, forever and ever it just said Bob Kane, and then now it said Bob Kane and Bill Finger. So it almost like
They started putting it on.
they need somebody's lineage because they needed somebody to pay. Because I think it's about dollars, right? If there's nobody there to claim the money, then they're not going to give credit. You know what I mean? I'm glad. I'm glad they found an heir so that he can get the proper, you know, because most of these guys from the Golden Age are either dead or barely alive, except for Stan Lee, who may be a robot at this point.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. It did come down to the money. It came down to, if they open this up, who else are they going to be opening up this massive corporation to of all these IPs? Who else is going to come and say, "Hey, I'm an heir,"
and he deserves
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, it's just unfortunate. I mean, Tim touched on it just a little bit, but with the Golden Age characters, I mean, without these creators and artists and writers making these characters, we wouldn't have these characters that we got today, and so on and so forth. And it's kind of like what I use as the old timers baseball analogy. When you go to these card shows, you see all these great baseball heroes from the 40s and 50s and everything. And here they are, they're sitting at a table trying to make ends meet because they don't get the big dollars as these big, Derek Jeter is like $600 for an autograph. But meanwhile, you got a 12-time world champion breaking records left and right into the Hall of Fame, and he's only charging $25.
Well, I think the best analogy would probably be the music industry, because I think the music industry really, whenever, nowadays artists can release their own shit, right? Or, they could release it online. They don't have to get a record deal.
Right, they can.
Back in the day, though,
make their own thing. Yeah,
and it was mostly with the groups, like the Motown groups or rock groups. So the record company had their name, right? So now they never paid them for, because now you have residuals in, like, re-releasing of LPs, MP3s, Spotify, all the stuff that the record company is getting paid for. And if you ever notice, like probably a bad example, but any fucking summertime fair, you always have these weird bands. It'll say like so and so with this, because they legally can't say, oh, I'm this is the Spinners. We could just say the form, or like Prince went to it. Remember, he went to the artist formerly known as Prince.
Yeah.
So now it's a lot better with intellectual property, and if you notice, why do you think Image was formed? Right, the same thing, because nowadays guys who create these characters, they know the legal side of it and how to maneuver in that, and I think a lot of they learn lessons from all the mistakes the old cats made. You know what I mean? I mean, even Stan Lee for the longest time was suing Marvel, right? It happens on both sides, all up and down. It's fucked up. But now people
the touch on the music part of it, I just got to bring this up since you did bring that up. Metallica, that when they signed their last contract, not this one that they're on now because they own themselves, they told Elektra, we'll sign it for this time, but at the end, we want our original tapes back, because they've seen what happens when you don't get your tapes back. They can pimp your stuff out to commercials and whatever, and you have no say whatsoever. So that was it. They did. So that's a lot of these bands are doing right now, or even just making their own label, which Metallica has done right now, and a lot of others are, like my music genre that I listen to. They got their own labels, their own little makeshift studios now, and they just use them as to distribute the music, and that's it.
Well, if you think about it, nobody ever thought about keeping the master recordings of anything, right? I think it was Michael Jackson who bought all the Beatles.
The Beatles, he screwed over Paul McCartney big time.
Yeah, bought the entire library, and it's worth I think it's probably, you can't even put a dollar amount on it, right? The amount of hits and the master recordings.
They had to get it back from him to bring it to Abbey Road Studios to do that big remaster collection that came out a couple of years ago. I mean, it's just crazy. But I think they got some of it back.
We could probably do a whole show based on Lords of the
you take that
Lords of the Music Box. All right,
I know.
You take that to comic books, and they would take they would take the paper, and they would erase whatever they drew, and they would redraw on the paper, because you know what I mean. Back then, in the 40s and 50s, World War II time periods, they had to reuse shit because the army was taking everything. So all those drawings don't exist. You know what I mean? That's like crazy to think. Like you were saying with the master tapes with music.
Right.
Well, think about it now. What's Marvel doing? They're taking Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane art from the 90s, which they own, and they're just making variant covers for them. Yeah. People were all complaining, talking shit, but guess what? People were buying those things up left and right. That Venom variant.
They're going to buy them.
Yeah. Another good example, I think it's bullshit, but George Lucas said that he actually took the original films when he did the changes in the late 90s. He did the changes over the original film, and that the original film no longer exists in its original form.
It doesn't. He stated a couple of times, actually, that the original film was badly damaged. It was to a point that it could not sustain the form that it's in. So he had to do it that way to even remotely keep it under wraps. So the original film is totally gone. What we got now is the remasters, and that's it.
What a shame, yeah.
But they're out there. They're out there. You can, that they're out
the
there.
Laserdisc. Aren't the Laserdisc the only ones that have the true?
They
Who's
also
got a
did-
laser disc player? That's what I want.
No, but those are theatrical releases. Are the Laserdisc, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the theatrical releases were released on Laserdisc, and then Walmart, when the prequels, I mean, when the first 3 came out, the original 3, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They put the remastered and the original uncut version, but because it wasn't the right ratio and whatever, I mean, you still got a letterbox, but it's like a little bit off, but still, it's the original cut. That was the only way to get it, and it was only sold in Walmart, and now you can't even get it. Forget it. You go looking on eBay, you're paying like $100 or $200 a disc, because they won't release them on the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you got to have a player to play it. So why would you even buy that? Doesn't make
Well,
sense.
I'm just saying. I mean, if you want the original, if you're diehard and you want to see Han shot first, and
You just said C.
Yeah.
It's a laser disc.
I actually have
I got a player.
You do?
I have a Pioneer
Wow.
Elite
You have an A-track too?
Laserdisc player at my
That's
mom's
smart.
house.
I got a
Pioneer-
Pioneer Laserdisc too.
Because back then, back in the day, when you did home karaoke, they all came on Laserdisc.
I didn't do the karaoke. I was just interested in getting the movies because it was like when videotapes from Tim. Remember when a new videotape, you could actually buy one for Blockbuster, but you're paying like $100. The Laserdisc, you pay like $20 or $30, and you have the better quality, and it was like a record. So that's how I looked at it.
Yo, have you ever seen porn on Laserdisc, son? Oh, Savannah.
Oh,
Nothing says porn like watching it on an 8-track machine.
That brings it back.
Way back. Anyway.
So back to the Bill Finger thing. It was absolutely about the money. It was absolutely about Bob Kane for the longest time just trying to save face, right? He had held his lie for so long that he needed to continue with it, right? But it was this guy and this journey that he had took basically into finding out who Bill Finger was, finding the heir. He actually found out that the son, Bill had a son who was gay. And he's like, okay, well, that's it. The son had died in 92 in New York. So he's like, okay, you know what? That's probably not it. I got to find a different way to find an heir. But it turns out that he had a daughter in Florida. So I thought that was an interesting twist. So she was the one who was able to claim the lineage and kind of fight. And it wasn't really a fight. It was more just being assertive and persistent with DC. First, they just threw a check at her to try to, shut her up, basically, hush money. And then eventually they agreed. They got, as you said, Marky, onto the, BVS where it says, Bob Kane with Bill Finger finally. So
kind of like when Stan Lee wrote that letter that said that Steve Ditko co-created Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's another great documentary too. Finding Steve Ditko, the BBC one, I think, or the British one. That's another good one up there
write
too.
This down. Definitely gonna watch.
You know what's crazy is a lot of people don't even know Steve Ditko is still alive because he's such a recluse.
Well, I see once in a while I see people who write him a letter. He actually writes them back, like a legit writing back. It's
like handwritten or typed.
Yeah, handwritten.
Handwritten.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Might have to give that a go.
I would tell you, if he ever does pop out of his shell and shows up at a con, get his autograph ASAP. If you are a autograph hunter, that would be my first go-to if he was
fuck
there.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. How old is he now? He must be like close to Stan's age, right?
Yeah, he's like in his 80s. He was younger than Stan Lee. I think he's in his 80s, and he still lives. He has an office in New York City still. So if you watch that documentary, they actually tried, but he didn't want to be on camera. But he invited the guy up into his office, and he gave him a bunch of comics. And the guy was like saying Steve Ditko was so cool, but he followed a political following. If you are the writings of what's her name, Ayn Rand. Right, like Rand Paul, and Rand Paul was named after the writer. I think her name was Ayn Rand or somebody, and they're like this weird group of like, what are they called? The libertarians. I always confuse them, but he believes in the God, I can't even say it. Basically, it's secularism or seclusionism, if that's a word, right? Where it's like
Close.
Yeah, you need to read up on it. It's really, and that's why he got out of comics, because of his political views. he didn't let it affect his writing or drawing per se, but his beliefs ended up getting him kind of blacklisted from the comic community and other creators that didn't want to work with him. So he was a seclusionist to the extreme where, and I think there was Amazing Spider-Man 600, I think, or what's that cover? It's a homage to Amazing Fantasy 15. Do you remember Steve Ditko did that cover? And that's one of the most probably expensive modern era books like you could find. It was a rare variant that actually Steve Ditko did for Amazing Fantasy. He basically homaged Amazing Fantasy 15. It's just a Steve Ditko variant. So I mean that one that came out in 2000, the late 2000s. Look, that one's still a hot. But that's one of the last ones he did.
I think I got that one. I think actually I showed you that, Tim, when I was sending my books to your guy to get Stan Lee to sign. You said no, don't do that one, do the other one. So
yeah,
and I think you mentioned that. I think you mentioned that to me and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, but if Steve Ditko were ever to do a con, dude, people would, he would probably do one con and just leave because seeing what the comic industry has become.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, that segues you right into the next subject. There you go. I set him up, you knock him down.
There you go.
Perfect segue. All right, so this all started with Adam Hughes, actually. There was something very recently, actually. I'm sure there was a little bit more before that. But Adam Hughes, apparently there was something, he was trying to coordinate with MegaCon, with a private signing with CBCS. And his wife, Allison, was like, no, we didn't, confirm anything. Why are you announcing this? So she got pissed off. And after that, ended up saying, we're only going to be working with CGC, exclusively. That's going to be who we're going to be going through. And they talked about, the fees are still the same. But if you want a sketch unwitnessed, it's $40. And now witnessed, it's $80. Right? So, yeah. So he's kind of cutting into that. He's sort of starting to realize, okay, people maybe are, we'll talk about that. But then it went to Starlin, and you guys all know what happened with him, with CGC. Now he's like, I don't want to work with, anybody right now, basically. And then recently, I think I saw it on Comic Book Fanatics page. It was the thing from Phil Jimenez. He said, I don't want to sign anything in plastic with blue tape on it. Yeah. Right, the little stick boxes. Exactly. So it's getting kind of crazy out there. But talk to me. Yeah, what you guys think about?
It was definitely Starling started it. I mean, Adam Hughes. I mean, there has been other, but the Adam Hughes one was well documented. And then when the Starling thing hit, that really hit because it's Jim fucking Starling. Okay, and now everybody's like, really. So you know what? If he's taking a stance, I'm taking a stance, and it's just. I mean, Tim, you take it all because there's on both sides of this. That's how I look at it. There's his side of it that I can understand, and then there's the business side which I can understand, and everything else like that. But there's a lot of red tape in there to it too.
Let me say my piece, and I'll shut up, and you can go on. You can go on because I'm probably one of the only people, I mean, maybe not, but that feel that these creators need to chill the fuck out. Like, you draw cartoons, you know what I mean? And I understand that you feel like you're getting, taken advantage of because people flip their books. But you know what? At the end of the day, people are paying for those signatures. You're not doing it for free.
Right.
So get over it and sign the fucking book. Quit trying to have this, unless they're doing it where CGC went to Adam Hughes and said, hey, will you start, maybe this is the slab company wars, you know what I mean? They're getting creators to side with them and trying to undercut the competition, so to say.
Well, you know what? Adam Hughes better start writing his full name instead of an AH and an exclamation.
Well, this is my point.
That's a waste of money. I'm sorry.
People want your signatures. There are people who flip, and you know what? That's their business. That's what they do. People who want the signature, everyone's paying the price. They're not doing it for free. No. So, sign the book and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, the Phil Jimenez thing happened because of some bird motherfucker at a show was arguing with them. Speaking of bird motherfuckers, hey, happy birthday to Aunt Manny NYC. But the thing is, the thing with Starlin was, first of all, him not knowing the policies and procedures of a show, and because a bunch of dudes always do it. Some refuse to do it, some do it. I've been going to shows for years now. Some guys don't care. Hey, sign a ticket. Yeah, you're a fan. They'll chat you up. Some guys will see you with a stack of 15, 20 books and go, hey, you're flipping it. That's not right. Wait a second. When you sold that book, you made your money, right? If you want us to charge for an autograph, fine, 5, 10, 20 bucks, whatever. But don't say, hey, wait a second, you're getting it graded. Let me charge you a 50% charge on top of that. But so Starlin was like, I never did this before, so I'm going to start doing it, because he saw people were making a little extra money. So I'm going to charge for signatures. And then this guy walked off, and actually it's that guy's fucking fault, to be honest with you. He knew he didn't pay for that shit, and he still got to do it. But from CDC perspective, yes, there is. I don't want somebody giving out my personal information just because they asked. You know what I mean? They don't have any evidence to the fact of that. And then by that time, Starlin had gotten butthurt. And then he probably spent more money on the lawyer drafting that letter than the cost of the fucking signatures. You're right. I mean, he went this and that. So I understand, like, at a show, you'll see like the young savvy guys who know the business. They don't get witnesses to signature. Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane. Oh, guess what? He's having a free signing. Well, guess what? There are no witnesses. You know why? Because they charge you for the private signing. That's what Todd McFarlane does once a year, $50 per signature for a CDC or CBCS witness. Jim Lee does it too. Remember at WonderCon, Jim Lee just went down the line and was signing people's books as he had to go to, what was that? The one in Texas that day, MegaCon or whatever other show. So there was no CDC witness there either. So, but then there's other guys, like I always get like,
well, Jim, wait a minute. On Jim Lee, when we went to the big AppleCon, me and the guys, there was a CGC witness and he didn't charge us, but that's because Stan Lee canceled at last minute. But still,
well,
I mean,
he normally charges. There's nothing free for Jim Lee.
He likes New York better. You know, you West Coast guys, you get charged.
Well, he's based out of Burbank. I mean, Jim Lee lives. They all live in California. All the DC guys live based out of Burbank, the big one. So I mean, Jim Lee is the last person that should be charging anything. The fucking guy is a goddamn publisher of DC Comics, right? I mean, but like I always see Marv Wolfman. Who's local to SoCal. I see him at every show, and he's old, but you know he's been going to shows. So you want a signature from him, $5. If it's CGC witness, $20, and I have no problem paying that because guess what? He's not really actively working, so you know he could use that extra $15. And if Jim Starlin wants to charge, I have no problem with that either. But just because you got confused and didn't follow the procedure, you can't just ban them all and say don't use CDC, just use CBCS because
it's not.
I think it was more of a miscommunication because as you look. Let's just call it what it is. You know my communication with them. And when I read that whole long, 2-page, 3-page thing of him trying to talk to the rep and getting nowhere, and basically he told the rep to go, don't send anybody to my table anymore. All of a sudden, then the rep comes, and now they're crying wolf. And it's just because they don't know how to talk to people. And if they just know how to talk to people, maybe they'll get things done right. I mean, it's just a common thing, a miscommunication, and everybody gets a hot head, and then the things get said, and that's it. You're done.
It was a miscommunication, but it was also like, all right, Starlin should have been fuck it. I just lost $20, and as opposed to the big deal of where he should have been paying attention. Like I always bring up the best example. Is Neil Adams. That motherfucker has capitalized his shit to the maximum.
He's like the kiss of comic books.
Say what you will.
The kiss of comic books.
He's got it down.
He whores himself like crazy. Give him a donut, you never know what happens.
He can charge whatever he wants. He doesn't care who comes to his table or not.
And people will pay it. People will pay it. You know, you charge $100, people are going to pay it. Look at Stan Lee's signature with all that anesthesia. I mean, they charge like crazy.
We don't say the A word around here, man.
Sorry, it just came out, but it's late on the East Coast.
Well, you know, it's like if Starlin wanted to, he can get with one of the grading companies and do private signings. Because especially now with Infinity War coming out, you know, and Thanos and the big push, and you know, Jim Lee or Jim Starlin having a big hand in the creation of all those characters, you know, from Thanos and helped on Warlock and all these things. I mean, he could do private signings at this point. I mean, Chris Claremont does private signings a lot now too, so you don't have to stand in line. Like I remember Chris Claremont was doing a show. I just went up to CGC and I was like, "Hey man, I want to get these signed. Can you crack them?" I was like, "Well, we'll take care of it because we're doing a private signing for Chris Claremont." because it's better because then you don't have to deal with these long lines. And
You know
I'm
what you
pretty
do?
sure.
You get with one of these guys on Instagram that have CGC Witness that are reputable, and you send them your books. They give you, they charge you a little premium because they're the ones that got to do all the work and stand in line. But then you know what? From safely from your own home, you can get any signature that they go to.
Yep, Team KRS Comics, very reputable and a very good price. I won't say all of them are reputable because some will charge you a dick in the leg.
I'm saying you find the reputable ones, KRS, and hey, it's great. And then you know what? In 2, 3, 4 months, you get a stack of books with signatures on them, yellow label.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's worth it because you don't spend your entire show standing in line. Or it's good when you can't make it to the show. Say if it's on New York or Emerald City Comic Con or C2E2, these big shows that you can't get a chance to go to. But back to the thing about Phil Jimenez and the blue tape windowing, that's just stupid. That's just retarded. That's just being petty. You know what I mean? Because if anything, they're just saying it's easy. Boom, it's right there. Just put your fucking scribble in.
Isn't the person who's paying for the signature allowed to tell the person where they want the signature written? I mean, it's their book.
Yeah, our boy Manny had a story about that where he goes, he was just saying something like, "Hey man, I don't want to be signing this on my book." And then Manny was like, "That's not your book. I bought that from a store, so it's my book. So you do whatever you want with it, And so I think, so I mean, if anything, it helps them, because this way it's in a nice window, sign, move on to the next one,
Yeah. One of the biggest complaints you'll hear from some of these artists is that it takes people too long to take the book out of the bag and get it ready for them to sign at the table. So that cuts that whole thing out.
And we also don't want it to get finger fucked to death because you're sending into grading or whatever like that, or you don't know if the guy just had a cheeseburger and now you got all that oil and grease all over the book. I mean, it's like there's a collector way, and then there's the grading way, and then there's the reseller way. But you know what? This isn't a new story. This has been going on for years. It's called supply and demand. When there's an item or an autograph or something that is hot and people want, they're going to pay and get it, and they're going to do what the hell they want for it. And people got to understand, it's just like toys, action figures, whatever limited edition CD or record or whatever that came out, and they sell out of them, and then they're all over on eBay for $10 or $20 more or $50 more. It's because people want them. Look at those damn Elmo dolls. Jesus Christ, people were fighting in the goddamn hallways at Toys R Us. Cabbage Patch Kids. Oh God, I'm going my fucking age. I remember my poor mother waiting online outside just to get one for my goddamn sister. It's crazy. This has been going on for years. So if anybody is going to argue about it, you really can't. Just like you said, that I paid good money for it, you made it, I would like your signature, and what I do with it is my own business, not yours. And that's it.
Boom.
Well said. Boom,
done.
Mic drop, god damn it.
Adam Hughes does have a good policy that I do like. If you want to get it witnessed, basically you just bring it to the CGC table. He'll go over to the table once a day, sign that whole stack, and you're good to go. So you just bring, unless you want to meet him, of course, but if you want to cut out the line, just bring it to the table and you're good to go. So makes it a little bit easier if you're trying to see other people and you don't care about me.
It's all what is that saying? Capitalism is greed is good. I mean, it's all part of ancillary businesses, a part of the comic book business. You know what I mean? It's the grading, the signature getting, all this, the variants, all this stuff. You know what I mean? It's like
exactly. And going back to the Starlin thing, I was willing to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt until he started saying that the Wonder Woman movie looks boring and will suck.
Yeah, that I didn't get.
Transition.
You know what? If a guy that copied Darkseid to make Thanos shouldn't really fucking talk. So anyway, that's just my opinion. But I mean, like I said, I'm on Team Jim because we're both banned from CGC, so we stick together. And but you know what? After that comment, what did I hit? I think I typed in. I'm not even going to make an opinion about that because that made no damn sense whatsoever. So hey. You know what? If that's his opinion, so be it. But it ain't making a good outlook for him right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, what's weird is he just saw the trailer like a couple of days ago. Yeah, the trailer's been out.
Where the hell you been for the last 4 or 5?
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's just that get off my lawn dude, man.
Yeah, get off my lawn. Get off my Thanos.
Yeah, man. He needs to get caught up with the times, It's crazy. But the reviews are coming in. He's the only one saying it's bad, basically. You know, it's 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, everybody is saying it's an awesome movie. You know, some of the catchphrases or whatever, the hot phrases, the best DC movie so far. Arguably, I haven't seen it, obviously, but I mean, from what I've seen, I'm willing to believe that. Kevin Smith and his buddy just put out a really long spoiler-free review. Said it was amazing. Said it was pretty much anything you would want from, you know, a Wonder Woman movie. You know, and it kind of, I think it was Deadline. Do you guys, you know, Deadline?
Yeah.
They said it kind of plays in the sandbox of Captain America, First Avenger.
That was a given, considering on the time period.
Exactly.
Going on.
Well, they're saying it's pretty much like Captain America, the First Avenger, and Thor. So it's like a period piece war movie, but also a kind of deity in, you know, in the wrong place. You know what I mean? When they come to Earth and they go, oh, what's this? Coffee and a donut. Oh, look at this. But if you want a good review, go see Collider John Campia's review, because he's been derailing Wonder Woman. Well, not so much the director and everything, but he was derailing
since day one.
Gadot's acting. And what I've gleaned through like the reviews, it's like Chris Pine is good, Patty Jenkins is good, and you know, and then the one thing was Gal Gadot's really good when she's not speaking and acting. She does really good action roles, this and that. So, and what another thing I'm hearing is it's got humor and color. Which has been kind of missing in certain palettes of DC movies, you may say. So,
a lot of color, they're saying. Very, very eye-opening, very eye-catching. And you know what? I'm trying to stay away from everything because I'm going to go see it actually Thursday. I'm going on the preview day. And it's a positive. They had to be positive with this film. I mean, I've said it once and I'll say it again. This is a major, major film for them. This is not only just a superhero film. This is friggin' Wonder Woman. This is the women superhero. These are what my sister, my wife, my nieces, who are now in their teens, have grown up and seen or heard, know who Wonder Woman is, even if they don't even pick up a book. I mean, that's a fact. They want this movie to be good, and I think they got it, and I think it's going to do very well. I hope it does, and I'm more excited to see it now, and I'm glad DC woke up and got their shit together, and let's go. Let's go with this.
As my girlfriend would say, when she was a kid watching the Wonder Woman TV show, she would put on her Wonder Woman underoos, put on aluminum foil bracelets, and spin around in circles till she threw up. I mean, that's what I'm pretty sure some dudes in the chat room probably did that too, but you know, that's what all little girls did back in the 70s, right? You had your Wonder Woman underoos, you would spin around in a circle, Wonder Woman, dung, 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 dung. One of the best theme songs ever, right?
My first crush, Linda Carter, my first crush ever.
Vinyl that was a special release for it, which is awesome. I'm going to play that, but it's more importantly, not just important for DC, but it's important for female-led superhero movies in general, because they all haven't done. So it's a good sign that they could show, because we all know the Catwomans and
Elektra,
Barbed Wire, Elektra.
Barbed Wire was just movie porn, softcore porn. That's all that was. That was going nowhere from day one. We only went there to see her topless. That was it.
But no, it's important for not only DC, but Marvel. Whoever wants to do a lead superhero, and I think Marvel is sitting back waiting. That's why Captain Marvel was pushed back so far. What I hope is they just don't make a glut of movies of female characters we don't really care about. You know what I mean? Like,
there's a lot that
we don't need a Gamora solo film. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Right. I wouldn't mind a Black Widow film. I think everybody's been yelling for that. I think that would be very nice.
Spy flick,
I mean, we can go Spider Woman. I mean, you know, you can just go
a Black Widow spy flick with maybe her and Hawkeye.
That would be awesome.
That'd be cool. I'd watch that.
Would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
Back in their days in Turkey, remember they keep on alluding to that.
Bringing up stuff that we don't know about. So hey, there you go. Hey.
But you know what? There's always going to be a certain segment of, I don't know what to call them, dickhead assholes that are just chauvinistic and racist, but they don't want to admit it, and they don't want to, you know what I mean? Like the same fuckers who are complaining about a woman's only screening, and they ask for a male only screening of Star Wars. Get the fuck out of here, Jesus.
Dude.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
It's a promotional thing. That's it. This is Wonder Woman, and why not do something for the women who enjoy this character and just have a private screening for the women on? Big deal. Holy shit. Goddamn, don't have a canary over it. I'm telling you, everybody in this world is too goddamn PC. People, get the stick out of your ass and relax. There's other things in life to worry about than all women going to a Wonder Woman film, and you're not invited, all right?
Well, I think it's actually the anti-PC people that were in a upgrade.
Well, whatever. I mean, everybody just worries about everybody else. Worry about your own goddamn self.
Hey, whatever marketing can make you more money. Like if you have a female superhero, you should build on that and say, hey, I mean, you know, this is the first that woman power, girl power, all that shit, right? I mean, you know, Harley Quinn, she has a huge following with young girls who know her from the cartoons.
Be doing a movie.
And she's a giant whore in the movie, but you know, but there's still little girls that want to be Harley Quinn, you know. But you know, there's that Harley Quinn from the animated series and Batman Adventures, and then you have the adult version. But you know, there's still a legion of girls that you know look up to Harley Quinn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I want to give a couple of shout outs in the chat. We got Mark with a Mouth, Deadpoolica's on here, Nerdivision, Gene Paulius Peters with us. We got Amazing Murphinator. I almost said Dark Side Jedi. I always do that.
Hey,
I am here.
thumbs this bitch up. There's 24 people in there. I only see fucking 14 thumbs up. So thumbs this bitch up or down, whatever.
Whoa, wait. Up.
But stick your thumb in.
Yeah, up, man.
Up.
Up, yeah.
All right, yeah.
As soon as I said that, we got a thumbs down. Oh,
Shit.
Just want to see the world.
They're just following directions, man. Thumb down, they thumb it down. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to this. I wanted to ask you guys. I know, obviously, you know, with the movies like right here, this is a really bad time if you're looking to kind of pick up, you know, some spec play sort of books, right? Absolutely
Time
not.
lost. You lost your opportunity.
Exactly. And, you know, for a lot of people, the Golden Age stuff is really out of reach, right? That's where a lot of
very out of reach. Some of the Silver Age now is picking up steam on certain things.
I have a good Wonder Woman book for you. Let me go grab it.
Go get it. Also, all that Perez run, the whole Perez run is heating up now, and I think after this film, it's still affordable right now. So if you speculators out there, I would get the Perez books seriously, because I think if the word of mouth is true and this film blows up, you're gonna forget it.
You're gonna spit the Wonder Woman book.
Yeah, go right ahead.
That's it. Wonder Woman #1 by Perez.
That's what I was talking about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because this one has a lot of first appearewords of a lot of the Amazonians. There is like
and Ares and
her origin there too, right? She got kind of a reworking of her origin in that.
Suck it, Ryan. See, I got DC books.
The Brian Boland covers.
You don't have to get nasty about it. I want you to have DC books.
I know. We want you to come to the dark side.
You know what's a hot book too? A Wonder Woman Warner Brothers Studio giveaway book.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
I thank you, kind.
If I ever get those in the mail and we can send them out, that'd be great.
Well, I'll make the announcement at the end of the show.
Would you get Gal Gadot to sign that?
No.
Or would you go for?
Fuck no, it'd be like $150, man. You know how much the movie stars charge? Even like fucking.
Hey, you know, remember when they did the?
It would be a movie poster. It has to be a double-sided movie poster.
Remember when they did the? What was that signing? What con was it at? Was it at?
Probably the Comic-Con.
Yeah, I think Comic-Con.
That's the only time they show up there.
It was when they were releasing the Superman vs. Batman, and they were all signing those foil covers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whoever got one of those Wonder Woman ones, man, is happy right now. Let me tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Star Wars books when all the cast was signing them before Carrie Fisher passed away.
Yeah.
When they got like Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, because they were all doing their rounds for promoting The Force Awakens, so they were doing like Star Wars Celebration. Dude, it was like, man, I looked at some of the signatures. Man, if you got like those three alone, it was like $400 just for the signatures. It was crazy.
But yet, going back to signatures, people paid for it.
It's demand. I mean, you know, I've seen it. I've seen it. Fuck, I've been to Star Wars, Star Trek, but I've been to a Star Trek convention, and once William Shatner and at the time Leonard Nimoy show up, forget it. Everybody packed in, and they're just money's flying right out of their pockets. They don't care, and that's it. It just people like these people, and they want their autographs, and they will pay for it.
Yep. If the market bears it, they'll keep charging it, and they'll keep pushing it up to they find that limit. Yeah. So the Brian Boland covers, somebody's agreeing with me in the chat, Lord Tapman. Those are pretty dope. I would go for those as well.
I have that one too. The one of her, the statue one,
yeah,
right?
Well, the one where she got her leg up, like Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that was, there was a statue made out of the cover, and that's why that cover was sought after.
And I think you know who Alex Garner is? Artist.
No.
Right around, I think it was like 600 to maybe 620. There were some variants that he did, which are amazing. They're really beautiful covers. If you haven't seen them, or anybody in the chat, if you haven't seen those, check out those covers, especially the one for 614. She's like down on the ground, and it's reflective around her knees, and she has a sword right through her torso.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
It's kind of weird about Wonder Woman, man. I mean, besides her Golden Age stuff, I mean, do you really think about any major key issues to like the
bondage covers?
I mean, yeah, those.
You got the Perez. You got some of the new 52. Like the first one, I think there's an appearance of a new character in one another book. Some of the Adam Hughes covers are hot now.
That's right.
Yeah,
the Adam covers from New 52 also.
I mean, those anything that Adam Hughes covers did on that Wonder Woman run with Rucka, you know, those are pretty hot. And
Cheetah's first appearance on Wonder Woman, her main villain, Cheetah.
Well, the main depends on which Cheetah you're going at. Are you going with the Golden Age, Silver Age, or the Perez Age? Now everybody's going with the Perez Age, which I think is issue number 7. 6 or 7. 6. One has a cameo, one has the full, or something like that. I totally forgot which issue number it is, but that, you know, it's the Cheetah. I mean, I know because when I watched that old cartoon, the Challenge of the Super Friends with the Legion of Doom, that's how I know all my superheroes and their arch villains, because that's all they were. It was the superheroes and their arch villains, and Cheetah was there, and Black Manta, and all that other goodness.
If you look at the back of Wonder Woman #1,
yeah, it's a great cover.
Oh, there's some serious bondage going on there. You see that shit?
Oh, shit.
See right there?
Dude,
holy fuck, look at that. God damn.
Hey, when you go...
What do you have to? It was 7, by the way. I just looked it up, Marky.
It was 7? Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I think that you've been using that version of Cheetah throughout the whole series, including the new 52 and then the new run that's going on right now. I mean, I read a little bit of the Perez run, but once this movie got announced and everything, I ran to the library and got the trade of the Perez run. Let me tell you something. It's pretty damn good once you give another read to it, because I was a young kid back then and all that. But when you read that now, I guarantee you're going to see some elements in that film, and you're going to see maybe some new 52 stuff. Who knows? But I think it's more based on what Perez was trying to tell. But we'll see. We'll see.
How is he doing now anyway? Does he have a heart attack or?
He's taking a break. He's canceled everything. He's gonna stay home and get healthy, and then when he gets better, he will do the cons again. But when that's gonna happen, I don't know. So yeah. So everybody put your Perez books on hold, and I guarantee you when he comes back, the lines are going to be double long now, because everybody's going to be thinking the same thing. He ain't going to be doing this shit for a long time one day. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, cutting out most of the states.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. He's making his own political statement. Yeah. That was another thing that, you know, if you want to bring up artists making the whatever, he any state that was a red state that voted in the election, he will not do cons at.
Right, including the one he lives in, Florida.
Yes, I know. Go figure. But hey, you know what? To each to its own, and you know what? He can do what they want. They actually, all these artists and writers can do what the hell they want. If they don't want to come, they don't have to come. If they don't want to sign for CGC or any of these great, they don't have to sign for them. They don't have to sign at all. They can just sit here and say, "You want to take a picture? Oh, okay, bye." You know, they can do what the hell they want. I mean, honestly. I mean, that's
unless you're Lou Ferrigno, you're just a dick about it all.
Oh Jesus, I seen that today.
He got in a fight, didn't he?
With Sam, what the hell's his name? Oh, Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would have been epic to see that. Holy
I was
shit.
like, going, no, don't
That's a
hurt
good
him. I want him to
crossover.
sign my record.
But you know, you always see those two dudes on what I like to call has-been alley, you know, where it's all these like actors from like, Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers.
They called that The Surreal Life. It was on
Yeah.
MTV, I think.
Oh, I remember that show. All those weird fucking B-list actors. And that, remember the Brady guy? He hooked up with that hot chick, ended up marrying her.
When that
anyway.
mini-me was pissing in the plant.
Is that the one
he
with
was a fucking
Red Sonja?
Yeah.
Richard Nielsen was hooked
Nielsen.
with Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
Oh God, what a disaster that was. Oh, Jesus.
You know you watch it. It's like a fucking train wreck.
Oh, that was the only reason why you would watch. That's the only. Us as people here, we like train wrecks, and that's what brings ratings. Train wrecks bring ratings. Drama brings ratings. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Everybody wants to see someone else fuck up because we're going to take notes of what not to do with our lives.
Marky, which one of your
Like
videos
that,
got the
right?
most views, Marky?
Well, that CGC video, yeah.
Oh, point
Yeah.
made.
Yeah, I know. So have I done another one like that? No, because I've learned. It's a learning experience, people.
Well, if you want views, you got to do what it takes sometimes, Marky.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Whatever it takes. That's his motto.
I got
what I
other
do.
views to handle here. I got a sky view. I got a tree over here. I got shit to take care of here. So I just do this for the fun of it, and that's it, man. And that's all.
Hey,
I'm
at least
good
you
at.
talk shit and you got views. There's people out there talking shit about other people on YouTube, and they still don't get more
don't
views.
lose,
I don't know what to tell them on that shit. Put it this way, the one video I did that was a rant video, I still have people sending me direct messages to this day. Hey, man. Hey, I heard you had a bad experience using this facilitator. I'm like, oh, shit.
Anastasia.
So I just got another message
say it.
two weeks ago. Go
Yeah.
ahead, say it.
Those motherfuckers, right, Marky?
That's right. That's right. I was waiting for you. I was
hey, man,
you get one in there,
I'm
dude.
giving you the motherfucker.
I
So
did
go
this
right
video
ahead.
as a PSA, and people didn't listen to me, and they're still complaining. I'm like, hey, I told you all the first time. Shit,
Man.
why are you still using them? But there's other
That's the
means
power
out
of the
there.
signature, man. That's what started off the show today, right?
There's other people out there that
Signature.
get your Stanley
Power of the
signature for
signature.
you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People want that shit, and they'll do what it takes, and they'll go to a shit ass company that just whatever.
You can
Buyer beware. Buyer
What's
beware.
that scene from Tommy Boy where he goes, you can take a piece of turd and put a different label on it, but
Yep.
it's still a piece of turd. And that's the name of that company.
Bag.
They changed their name and they're still a
Or
piece
is
of
it-
turd.
Your ass.
What we got next, JLS?
Yeah, so the next thing is going to be Star Wars. I mean, you guys, I know you all saw those Annie Leibovitz photos. Those amazing pictures of the cast. One of them was Benicio del Toro, and they're saying that his character is, they're not saying what he does, or it's just DJ is his name,
Yeah.
right? And then you get a bunch of other people. There's Kelly Marie Tran. She's a character named Rose. And then there's somebody, I'm trying to remember.
The old bitch. The old bitch is playing an admiral in the Resistance. The
there's
old blonde chick from
Veronica,
Jurassic Park.
no. The old,
Was it Dern?
Laura
Something
Dern.
Laura
Laura
Dern.
Dern.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna play an admiral in the Resistance. And the thing about Benicio del Toro's character is his name isn't DJ, but they're calling him DJ, and the director said it, and
Dark
it
Jedi.
means something. So people are already saying like his name is Dark Jedi. Hello, Ryan. Sorry,
What?
stealing your name.
What?
I think
copyright
it's
that
Don't
shit.
something
copyright
like,
it.
I think it's something like maybe not drunk
Ron
Jedi, but
Johnson.
disgraced Jedi or something. They're saying
Drunken
that
Jedi.
he's
Drunken master. That would be.
they're saying he's neutral to the Force, meaning that he's a Force wielder. This is a
Mhm.
speculation, by the way. He's a Force wielder, but he's not for the dark side or for the Force, but he's a powerful ally
The
that they're
gray.
trying to get. But he also has a holster for a gun, so I don't know. He may be Force sensitive, but so, either way, fucking Benicio del Toro is cool, man.
He's damn straight.
So, somebody said it looks like he was typecast as exactly that character,
For the Heineken commercials?
Yeah, that's the next one. You're gonna have that same photo with a 6-pack right there for a Heineken promotion.
He's basically a Hispanic fucking Lando Calrissian right now, is all we know.
Yeah.
A Heineken and a Colt 45. Great combination. There you go.
But what's cool though is I like how they're leaving some mystery to it because in the world of with Star Wars, there's so much story and world building and mythology to it that we're trying to figure out. All right, who is he?
Star Wars is always good. The company is always good with not bringing too much out. Like even with the when they did the prequels all the way up to this newest Rogue One, you didn't really know what was going on. You saw the trailer, but there wasn't much news that came out about things. It was all pretty hush hush, and they've always done a good job with that. It's like some movies you've seen the trailers. There's so many trailers, there's so much news. You've basically seen the movie a year before it's come out. You know what I mean?
Spider-Man: Homecoming. I can tell you the whole fucking plot of that movie right now.
Batman vs Superman. Yeah, you kind of saw once fucking spiny, thorny fucking dude popped up. You fucking knew what was gonna happen.
I was so pissed. We yelled, and you know what? We're not gonna hash that. We yelled, we complained, and I think everybody's starting to say, maybe it's not a good idea to show the whole fucking thing on a trailer. Yeah, no shit, asshole. Can you leave some adventure and some goddamn story for us to enjoy in the theater instead of blowing it all? So
I thought J.J. Abrams did a good job of hiding the fact that Han Solo died. Spoiler if you haven't seen it. Fuck off.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
What? Motherfucker?
But if you think about it, J.J. Abrams has always been really secretive with this shit, right? Going back to like Cloverfield and all these films. So he's really good. And I think as a
Star
whole,
Trek, he did it with Star Trek too.
Well, that whole con thing revealed that.
Well, before that, he gave away, like he said, nobody, the old cast is showing up, and then Leonard Nimoy showed up.
I think one of the benefits though of being Star Wars is that you don't have to put much out. People are going to come see your movie.
Yeah,
I don't care if you didn't put out any trailers. People are going to come see your movie.
You could put Kylo Ren taking a shit. And with the lightsaber go boom, people will say it's the greatest trail of all, and show up in
so like some of these other movies that I think maybe they don't have the same clout, even though it's Spider-Man, even though it's different. So I think they get scared and they put out so much information and they put out so much. Yeah, and
really quick, Big Easy said that he heard Benicio del Toro maybe playing Ezra from Rebels.
Oh,
that's just kind of cool.
I could see that.
That would be cool. A lot of Rebel people. I mean, I know the NY Warriors. They all like the Rebels. I haven't watched.
I've watched every episode. I loved it, man.
Yeah, I mean, and they want a lot of characters to be in the films.
It's also in the Force Awakens. Remember, the ghost ship is in the Force Awakens. Even that little crazy ass droid. He's badass, by the way. He's sarcastic little motherfucking droid. And I think Rebels is going to end at the battle that happened at the Force Awakens. I think that's why the ghost ship, and I think they're all going to die. A good way to end a series, right? Because this next season is the last season of Rebels. So, and the ghost ship was at the battle at the Force Awakens, and I could see how that could be an end to it. Who survives may lead into, because it would have to be Ezra. Because Ezra's pretty young in Rebels, and to go on and to be in these movies, which take place after Return of Jedi,
many light years.
Yeah, so the galaxy far, far away, a long time ago, where paper was just found,
and parsecs was a different measure.
Don't get the best started on that video. He goes, parsecs is a measurement of not time, but of distance.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But that's just because he's smart and likes to fuck with people.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting some new scenery too. Like it's like Monte Carlo-esque sort of planet that they're going to be going to. Yeah. It's like a Las Vegas. It looks really flashy. Like it's supposed to be like the upper class of the Outer Rim type of thing. So that looks pretty cool too.
Did you say the ass of the Outer Rim? That has Star Wars porn parody written all over it.
Oh, shit.
It's the new name of this episode.
I'd like to apologize to Jesse. I don't know if you ever gotten 3 thumbs down before, but you got it now.
Oh, man.
Our haters have found us.
Oh, shit.
Don't worry. If we see them in the live chat, we'll point them out.
Yeah, I don't care about those. So let's move on to the Green Lantern Corps, the movie.
All right.
I mean, what do we know about it so far? Not a whole lot.
Well,
we just know the director or the writer is going to be Goyer, and you don't want him directing because he directed the 3rd Blade film, which is fucking awful. And oh my god, I hope they don't put Armie Hammer into it. But every actor in Hollywood has apparently been attached as Hal Jordan, but Tom Cruise, who I think is way too short. I don't know, maybe Armie Hammer.
They say Chris Pine at one time, but he was going for the Wonder Woman role for Steve Trevor. We don't know anything, only that we know that there is going to be a Green Lantern Corps movie. We know we're going to be dealing with more than one Green Lantern, so that means we're going to have Hal Jordan and John Stewart. That is just a given. I mean, you can't
I've heard have them in a sort of like a Lethal Weapon type of.
That's what it said. Lethal Weapon in outer space, which
that would be great. No, they got two different. No, seriously, if you read the books and everything, they got two different types of ways to deal things. Jordan is a little bit of a hothead and just goes off and doesn't think about consequences, as John Stewart is more grounded, military-esque, and all this other stuff. So that's why I
was going to think maybe it would be like the Guy Gardner would be the guy that would be like the opposite, the polar opposite.
He might be in it too. And that would be great also. I would love it. I love Guy Gardner. I would love to see it. But you also got to bring in Kilowog.
This is how you use Guy Gardner. He shows up at the end credits, turns into a Red Lantern, and that's how you introduce the Red Lanterns as the new villain in part 2.
But too soon, I think. You got to first establish them first. I think we got to get them in first before we start going Red Lantern.
Guy Gardner in the current Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns is badass. I mean, the scene where he fights the Red Lantern without his ring just to show he's a badass.
The Yellow Lantern.
The Yellow Lantern. Right. And he almost like beats the piss out of him.
Get out of it. Great book. Good book.
Yeah, it's a great book. And so it's kind of weird though, man. It's like how I guess you can blame it on the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds, right? Why? Because they don't want to rehash it too soon, put him in Justice League. I mean, I'd rather seen Green Lantern in the Justice League than, I don't know, Cyborg, maybe. You know what I mean?
I would like to see him in an end credit scene, just showing up, maybe something saying, so-and-so's coming, we need your help, blah, blah, blah. And maybe Flash recognizes him.
If it's going to be a cosmic threat, then you have to have the DC's Cosmic Police, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping for. We know he's gonna. They know they gotta have to put him in, so we don't know when, but that's all we know about it. Goya's writing the script. Until we see a still or an announcement and whatever, right now, only thing that's going on in the DC movie universe is Aquaman.
Yes. Don't let Goyer direct, please.
No, please.
Blade Trinity was God. Oh my God, Ryan Reynolds is in that too.
Yeah, that was like his Deadpool prototype character.
Holy shit.
Man.
But they have to. I'd rather see a Green Lantern movie come out before Cyborg or even Flash. To be honest with you, he's too important part of the DC cosmic universe, and Marvel has already started doing it. The next phase is all cosmic and all that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. They got to play catch up again. They're missing an opportunity again to not really capitalize on this.
Once you go in outer space, you can be more fantastical with your stories, right? Because you're not bound by the what's on Earth. You know what I mean? So I mean, there's tons of stories they could tell, and it's just like, and I'm pretty sure it's the hangover of Green Lantern that they're trying to. That's why they're not.
That's what they did. You
that's
just
exactly what it
right
is.
On the head. Yeah. You hit it right on the head. It's the outer space element. What was the greatest part of the Green Lantern film that I like to remember is the outer space shit. Once we got grounded with his relationship, him acting like a goofball, which he technically is not. But you know what? Fine. But the space stuff, Oa, all that was amazing.
And I think Mark Strong was perfectly cast as Sinestro, actually.
He was perfect. And if there's any person that needs to come back to reprise that role, they better get him back because he nailed Sinestro. I would love to see. I think everybody, all Green Lantern fans, want to see the Green Lantern versus the Sinestro Corps Wars. They want to see that.
That would be cool. Do you think they would bring him back though? I mean, that would tie it back.
I don't know. He may not want to. Honestly, I don't know if they want to bring him back. If I was Mark Strong's got other projects going on and all that stuff, so it isn't like he's needing work. But I think if they asked them, I think they wouldn't be stupid not to. That would be a great thing for them to do.
Yeah, hell yeah. Absolutely.
And he's
Make it
British.
right.
He makes a perfect bad guy.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
All the British
He's
are
the
bad guys.
Jaguar.
Well, he's in that damn commercial for Jaguar where all the British.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why I'm a bad guy. You know, I got a British accent.
And then I guess talking about a good cast, I mean, you got the cast for Aquaman is shaping up to be pretty awesome, right?
I mean,
Willem Dafoe, you got Amber Heard.
But that's taking place. They said it's taking place after
Justice League.
timeline wise, because a lot of these films, even the solo films, can say they take place like even before the Justice movie came out. So it's going to take place after that. So I guess it makes sense since his introduction is going to be in the Justice League,
Right.
Or maybe he was in Man of Steel. I don't know. Maybe he was in the ocean doing something.
Well, that spy camera, the Lex Luthor crack that Batman found on Lex Luthor's computer thing drive or whatever, and all I know is that what I see, I'm loving it. I mean, again, I'm trying not to get too hyped up with, but we're dealing with only James Wan doing it. He has made some incredible films. He is very passionate with this mythos, the story, and everything, and he knows what direction to bring in. And the cast is freaking amazing, and we're getting Black Manta and fucking Ocean Master, motherfuckers. So all you Namor fanboys out there, suck this. You have no movie. You don't even have the rights to him, or did you get it right? I don't care. He's got no head. Those two blue bitches doesn't count sewing it fucking back on. Fuck you all. Thank you.
Oh my god.
We took over, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
Marky took over.
It's all
if Aquaman is not a good movie, there's gonna be
I will accept all lambasting if Aquaman is a total floating piece of shit. I will accept it all, and I will go on your show, and I will not say a word, and you guys can just make fun of me for an hour. How about that for
Marky Roast?
Sorry. Marky Roast. If Aquaman fails and it sucks, invite me on your show. I will stay mute, and you guys can just Aquaman bash me throughout the whole show.
I think Aquaman is the most difficult movie that DC has to pull off because of all the years and decades of Aquaman being portrayed as blonde hair driving a seahorse, and he's in water. I mean, it's hard to film that too. So we'll see how much of it actually takes place underwater. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to do. It's not like Man from Atlantis. I'll age myself. Who remembers that show? Okay, I'm the only one motherfucker.
What was that?
Man from Atlantis. Remember that TV show?
No.
He could swim. He had like webbed feet and shit, and he could swim. It was the dude that played. He was in the show Dallas, and he was on a brief show on CBS. He was called The Man from Atlantis. Google it, anybody. That was your Aquaman and Namor TV show in the 70s. It was on for like a season or two. He was
the only time I, like I say about the 80s or whatever. The only thing I know about Namor and Aquaman are from the cartoons. Even the it's a running joke. I mean, because there was a lot of dumb moments in Aquaman, but there's also a lot of dumb moments with the Namor. He jumped into a pool of alcohol for Christ's sake. Jesus Christ. So it's just it. But that's how I know them. And everything, and of course, if you're a kid, you get confused. So how the both of them can be in Atlantis, and then you find out there's two different companies as you get older. But it is what it is. But Aquaman's better anyway.
Yeah, Patrick Duffy, that was him. Patrick Duffy was in a Man from Atlantis.
Duffy. Oh my God.
Comic Christian Castle Hills remembers the show too, Tim.
Oh, there you go.
So he had like webbed feet and hands and shit, and he could swim really fast. I shit you not, that was his thing, and I'm pretty sure it was due to Aquaman or something. It was their kind of superhero show. Mm-hmm. Hey, in the 70s and 80s, it was light fare and what you have for superhero stuff, so you can get it in wherever you can get it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the one thing I know, Stempify Comic Guy has challenged me he would give me $100 if I cosplayed as Aquaman on a future New York Warriors show. Let's just say it is tempting, but you never know. Just got to tune into the show. Maybe one day I will be dressed up as Aquaman.
Short, blonde-haired Aquaman, or like long, flowing?
No, I'm doing long hair because I'm a metal guy. Sorry, we're going long hair.
Chop your arm off.
Because probably the arm cut off. I don't know. I got to see what my mood.
You're really committing to that.
What era of Aquaman I want to be. So You know, yes, I accept your challenge. I just don't know when I'm going to do it. You said it's open at any time, so you never know what show you might see Aquaman take over.
Is Frost gonna do a Namor cosplay?
Oh God!
We want Speedo Namor.
Oh, Speedo Namor.
Speedo Namor. Let's
Make sure you
rephrase
put
that.
those little ankle wings on those cute little ankle wings that he's got.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? No, I don't want to imagine. You know, me and Frost doing a show, and he's Namor, and I'm Aquaman.
Oh God!
We might have ratings gold on that one.
Especially do like a full body show where we can see.
Shit! Oh man, I gotta hit the gym.
You know what? If you do a full body show and stand up in front of a green screen and have a little like the water, the ocean behind
Like a
you,
fish tank.
Oh
Dude.
shit!
I will watch that a
You know
thousand
what?
times. I'll get everyone I know to watch.
Hey,
that.
you know what's the old saying? Never say never. You never fucking know. I can't speak for Frost, but you never know about the Aquaman whatever thing that Stempify challenged me on. So yeah, game on with that one. But anyway, JLS, what else?
It's up in the air, right? It's up in the air.
Yeah.
Just one last comment on the Aquaman thing. I really think that he was the standout for the Justice League trailer. I think he looked like he had the most amount of fun. He looked like, you know, kind of one of the, you know, best characters in my opinion from that trailer. So based on that, you know, if I went by just that alone, I think that the Aquaman movie will be fun. I know I can't just base it on that one thing, you know what I mean? But it's a good indication of what to expect. So we're talking about movies. Flash the movie, right? Nothing's really happening with that, right? They can't find a director. They can't, you know, do anything with it. But they do have a pretty decent show on the CW. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but that last episode, the finale. Did you see the finale?
I watched it. So
all right, we're gonna spoil the finale, chat people. So if you haven't seen it, too bad. All right, go.
I think the season should have ended with the Savitar reveal. Because after the Savitar reveal, it just went like, all right, just hurry up and finish the fucking story. Kill that bitch already, goddammit. I'm sick and tired of her dying every episode. Just kill that bitch off already. They should have killed her. This is like one of the worst parts of the show.
Heart, man. Come on, man. I mean, the reveal was cool. I liked the reveal. Did we need another episode or two? Well, was another 2 more episodes? Yeah, maybe not. But you know what? It was nice how they kind of like did it. But you know what? He's not. He's coming back, people. He's probably going to be. You probably see him in the Speed Force running around like, oh, what the hell am I doing and whatever, and he'll somehow get out and whatever like that. But
well, he's in Speed Force prison, so maybe he's just going to serve like a 2-year sentence, and you know, in Flash that's like 5 minutes or some shit like that.
It's going to be 2 episodes at the most. You know, you're not going to have him stuck in there. I mean,
well, we've seen an episode with him stuck in there. Remember?
No, why did it have to pick him? Why couldn't it pick Jay? Why couldn't it pick anybody else from the multiverse?
I think he feels a lot.
No, he volunteered. I thought he volunteered.
He volunteered. He felt a lot responsible of what was happening around with, you know, his friends and how everybody's futures and history has changed because he's screwing with the timeline. So he felt like he was the one that should go in instead of Jay Garrick again and everybody else. So
I would have said, Jay, get back in there. I'm about to get married.
Jay, get back in there. You only show up here and there. You get back in there.
Flash fuck up the timeline for his own, you know,
own gain, his own personal thing.
And anytime a show deals with time travel, it gets convoluted, and I think that's what the show is getting caught up now. They're like, oh man, did we miss something? Because anytime you know, and then you know, it's like you don't know what's going to happen, but. Can the show be led by just Wally West, you know, next season for a couple of episodes?
No, not really.
Not this guy. It doesn't seem like he has I
like him as Kid Flash. Not only that, I like him as Kid Flash, but you know what?
He's a good supporting character.
That's what I'm saying. He's a supporting character, and I think that Grant, how you pronounce his last name? Forgive me, Gustin.
Yeah, the main dude,
yeah, and you know he owns that role and he's doing a great job. And just because, and also the villains, we got the rogues. The rogues are Captain Cold is fucking awesome, and you know, it's just really good. I'm enjoying it. They're bringing up. They're not giving us everything, but they are giving us our little tidbits. You know, the crisis, him disappearing, all this other stuff. We're getting the Reverse Flash stuff was Flashpoint. We're getting a lot. Gorilla Grodd and King Shark. King fucking Shark. Did you ever think that we see a King Shark on the television? And also that Gorilla Grodd episode this season was friggin' awesome. That was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, but they only teased them just a little bit, like the Grodd plan and everything. It was an episode, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's the CW's need to make teen angst fucking love drama that just saps the shit out of you. I was like, you know, first you watch Arrow and you watch The Flash.
I stopped for that very reason.
Every show is the family and talking about, you know, all kinds of love and shit. And it's like, all right, we get it. We don't need to.
They threw that out this year on Arrow. They said, "Fuck that lovey-dovey stuff." They went back to a night. They've got a nice ending this season. That's just my thing.
Yeah, they blew everything up.
They blew everything up.
Well, they said the baddie for next season of The Flash is going to be the Thinker.
The Thinker. Because
they drop a name called DeVos, who's the name of the Thinker in the DC comics. So the Thinker is probably going to be the baddie, either, you know, or, you know, they could always just say the Speed Force, because that seems to be like anytime you got a plot thing that is kind of confusing for them, it's use Speed Force. Speed Force. The Speed Force wants somebody. Throw them in there. All right, go. Let me blow somebody up. The Speed Force will take care of it. It's like, all right, you know, eventually, why don't they just make a human personification of the Speed Force, right? Is there one in the comics?
What, a human Speed Force?
Yeah, does it talk or anything? The Speed Force?
Not that I remember. It's just a Speed Force, but it, you know, when you run in, you hear little things and you see things from the past or other multiverses or other Earths and all that stuff. I mean, if you all read the Button issues, I mean, there was a part that Batman and Flash are in the Speed Force, and they've seen a part of the future or past or some kind of multiverse that we're very familiar with. If anybody didn't read the book, I mean, so. It's there. It does a lot of stuff, but there hasn't been like a being like, I am the Speed Force. No, it ain't like that. No, you have to go in and experience it and whatever.
Yeah, because in the show, I swear to God, the Speed Force talked to the Flash.
Yeah, because he was showing things from his past, like people that may have passed or died and whatever, but it was the Speed Force fucking with his head. That's all. They just had to show it on TV. They just can't have a big bolt of light with little comic boxes coming out of the sides. You know, that ain't exciting. They just need the drama and everything to build it up.
They could go the Galactus route. Just make a big old cloud in there.
Oh, the big giant shit cloud coming around. Yeah.
They did that with Parallax too.
Yeah. Oh God, please don't. They fucked up my favorite villain, man. Just don't do Yellow Monster Parallax. Do Hal Jordan Parallax. I want Hal Jordan to lose his shit and become Parallax in this DC Universe movies. I want to see that big time.
That would be cool. That'd be very cool. Yeah. All right. So we're going to jump back to the con thing for a second and then back to another movie that's coming out, which I'm really excited for myself. But did you guys hear about this guy who went to the Phoenix Comic-Con? And he had 3 handguns. He had a shotgun and a whole bunch of knives on him. They busted him, obviously, right? So they get him. Punisher. Yeah. They took his phone. In his calendar on the day, it said, kill JDF. Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger.
That is the weirdest shit ever.
It's weird. Frost actually threw this at me, and I was talking about something else about Jason David Frank, something with CM Punk or whatever. And then he brewed this story, and I just read little pieces of it, and I didn't understand what he said, and I did LOL. He said, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? That's fucked up shit. I'm like, oh, shit. I said, where the fuck did this happen? And I'm like, I read that thing. I'm like, that's motherfucking crazy. That's
no, he is. That dude is certifiably insane. When they pull him aside, he goes, I'm the Punisher. I need to kill him. But why is Jason David Frank, though? He's not a bad guy in the comics or movies or shows. That's so random.
That made no sense.
Maybe he was disappointed with the Power Rangers movie.
He wasn't even in it. Or was he? Did he do
you gotta blame somebody for your crazy ass.
He is lashing out at the movie and using it their nearest opportunity.
What he should have done
is just batshit crazy.
People out there, if you're acting like that
Was
fool
off
that
his
did
meds.
that, you need to get help now. Please go to your local hospital ASAP. Take some fucking drugs and chill the fuck out. Really.
He should have been like the real Punisher and went and looked for Finn Jones and shot his ass for fucking up Iron Fist.
Because he's a curly-haired what?
Oh, curly-haired fuck.
Boom.
Finn Jones is the curly-haired fuck. That's for
Actually,
you.
you heard it here first on this show, back on that episode.
There was an actual picture of Iron Fist or Finn Jones, the curly-haired fuck, with Diggle from Arrow, and he's tiny. Diggle is fucking huge compared to little skinny-ass fucking Finn Jones, non-kung fu kicking-ass motherfucker, man.
Tell us how you really feel about Iron Fist there, Tank.
See, I'm not a Marvel fanboy. I was honest about Iron Fist.
I know.
That shit was disappointing as fuck.
I break your chops, you break mine. But
Even the
damn,
scene, you guys see the hallway scene that they released for
Yes.
Defenders, where they're all, even he looks whack in that scene, and he's only in it for like 2 seconds, and I'm like looking at him, can he do anything? Weak ass.
Did you learn anything? Nope.
But yeah,
we were all
what's
saying.
scary is how, if just think about all these cosplayers that go show up with weapons and stuff, and at the weapons check, before you get in the show, that's when they make sure you don't got any real shit. But
And they're pretty
every
meticulous.
show I've been to, there's like thousands of people in that area. He could have been one of those, like, I want to, just go out and just start shooting people. You know what I mean? That's the scary part right there. He could have just been
New York, you can't pull that shit. They say no. Either you leave that or you don't come in. I don't care. And if it's real, you're getting your ass handed.
No,
to you
what I'm saying is, even before
you.
you go into the show, there's tons of people just congregating around, taking pictures, or whatever. He could have killed a ton of people with fucking guns like that.
And that's kind of what they're doing now. They're going after what they call the soft targets, right? The Ariana Grande concert, or the lobby before you go through the TSA, or places like this where there's security, but not a whole lot.
This happened before that, but when other things happened, when I just seen Metallica, and they had I've been to this building, but they just redid. We had metal detectors, 2 pat downs just to get into the place because all the crazy shit that's going on with some of these things. It just makes no sense.
Well, Lars is a little anal too.
I understand that. He can piss off quite a few people that can't play a double bass drum anymore. Come on, Lars. Hit that double pedal. Come on. Anyway.
He didn't want you recording it and selling it and him not making money off
They
it.
recorded themselves, and now they sell their own shows now, man. That's what they do now.
He's still trying to take
I can buy the show for $10 that I just went to.
Still trying to take Napster down.
That's right.
Napster.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. So New Mutants, that's coming out 2018, I think. It's like April or May of 2018. It's kind of fast-tracked. So you got Josh Boone as the director, and it's supposed to be sort of a horror-esque sort of story, right? What they're saying is it's these mutants. It's they have a couple of the cast that's released now, like Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones, Anya something or other. She was in that witch movie. She's gonna be Magic. But basically, they're these young mutants, and they're locked up in like a facility. I don't know if it's going to be the Essex Court, from X-Men, or Transigen from Logan. But it's basically around them in this facility and trying to get out. And did you guys see a while back they had a storyboard animatic, which kind of played into the Demon Bear, right? It was New Mutants like 18 and 19, I think. Was part.
Whenever I thought about the New Mutants movie, I didn't think about it the way you just brought it up, how it could be based on the kids from Logan, right? Those young mutants that they were all like they kept, and then they escaped to Canada. Mm-hmm. Because it's either that or you do them, from Xavier's School of Gifted Youngsters, right? I mean, as opposed to, this whole horror theme to it. I just don't get it, man. I don't know if I agree with going that route for New Mutants. I mean, not everything has to be dark and scary and horror filled now. It just seems kind of weird because the New Mutants comic, I remember when I read it as a kid, it was a hot book because X-Men were hot in the 80s. So when New Mutants branched out, and when it's like, these young mutants, and Cannonball was kind of like the greatest American hero. He couldn't really figure out how to fly yet. Remember, he was always bumping into shit. And the character played by Maisie, Wolfsbane, was she was like a tortured character because she couldn't figure out if she would feel more human or more wolf. You know what I mean? Like at one point, I think she fell in love with like a wolf prince who was, you know, like an animal. So she was kind of figure that out. And then there was the
sounds like a CW show. Just saying.
I mean, they're teenagers, so you know you're dealing with teen angst, and that was, you know, and then Sienkiewicz started drawing it, and it really went into this odd way. I mean, now they're all grown up, and you know you see them, but you know there's still characters like Karma, who is the Asian chick, and then Wolfsbane. I don't know where the hell they are nowadays. If I think they got killed off or some shit. But then there's a weird dude like that weird guy from the alien planet who kind of is a kind of giant techie mechanical thing. What the fuck? Warlock. Yeah, Warlock. Yeah. That's a weird fucking characters in the Mutants, man. So, but I'd like to see them come out with a synopsis and explain more what the horror angle is.
Yeah, I kind of thinking it might be something, because I mean, right after that you had Legion, right, which is trippy in and of itself. So I hope they don't kind of take that. I think you said it the other day, like the easy route with that. But you know, you have people like Magic. She got her soul sword. You got the demon bear, right, and terrifying people in the nightmares. And you have like Belasco, who's another demon.
Yeah, they could do Limbo would be horror, right? Because that's like the little, you know, her soul sword and Belasco. You know, that could be the. But I'm hoping it's not like, you know, some type of just horror bound, earthbound something. It wouldn't make, if they do horror, they got to go Magic and the Limbo Zone and all the beasts and demons and shit.
Yeah. So,
have you guys seen the trailer for Gifted?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's coming out on Fox.
Yeah,
that looks really good.
That does look good.
See, they should make
Brian
like
Singer's doing it, so
yeah, he's directing the pilot episode, right?
Yeah.
Is he going to be a showrunner, or is he just going to do that kind of?
I think he's going to have some part with it, but you know, it's just like everything else. I don't know if he's going to stay throughout the whole season, but I know he's probably going to have some input of where this is going to go. And Fox, we trust.
Yeah, it's like Scott Derrickson is doing Lock and Key, director of Doctor Strange. That's a perfect thing. Lock and Key is a horror comic. He does horror movies. So that's Hulu, right? Is that coming out on Hulu?
I'm not sure.
I expect that book now because I already bought #1 issue. So everybody, it's going to be a hot book. Lock and Key #1.
Scoop it up. Scoop it up.
Scoop that shit up.
It's called the Pump and Dump.
Tim's really good at pumping and dumping.
Oh,
I need to pump it some more. I want the pump.
He gets those back alley pumps going. It's insane.
And we have hit the 10 o'clock hour, so that's why we're going in this direction. Okay.
Reach around pumps.
Oh, shit.
All right, Marky, I know you've been playing Injustice.
Yes.
So talk to me about that game. What do you like about it? What do you recommend in terms of that? And I've seen you play it a while back, you know, the battle mode or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
I'm really curious about the game.
All right. Well, actually, Injustice 2 is the continuing story of the Injustice universe. Basically, it's taking place a couple months or a year, I can't remember exactly, after the first game. And basically, Superman is in prison. Batman is trying to restore faith into humanity that all superheroes are not bad, and we got rid of the bad ones or excommunicated them, or they're in hiding. And Batman's trying to do PR, basically.
Okay.
I haven't got through
worst
the
person
whole...
ever to do your PR, by the way. If you want to hire a PR firm.
Superman outed him, his secret identity, so everybody knows in the world knows that he's Batman now. So he doesn't need to go out in the cape and all that. So he's just showing up in the suit and everything. So I haven't got far into the story mode because I've been dealing with some, you know, life and shit like that, and I just need time to play.
I haven't. I finished it.
You have? All right,
yeah.
But if you're going to talk about it, I'm going to go mute because I don't want to hear anything about it. But
I won't talk about it.
What I like about it is definitely the gameplay and the graphics itself. What a major upgrade, of course, when you're dealing with the PS4 system. The game itself is great. I mean, there's a learning curve with it, of course, and this game will guide you on how to be a better fighter. There's practice modes. You can go into the multiverse, which I recommend because it's a lot of fun. You get basically experience of what kind of character you want to play so you can start learning the moves, start learning the combinations and everything like that. I really enjoy that. Online play, match play, you can get like what me and Larry did. Larry called me on the PlayStation and we got in and we did a lot. I think we did a couple of matches, more than 7. We did a whole bunch of matches and everything. And me and him were kind of on the same level. We just started with this, and I'm not a hardcore gamer by no means necessary. I just like playing for the story, and I like superhero characters. It's a fun game. They really did above and beyond what I was expecting, and I think this game has a lot of legs, and I think it's going to last a while. And once it's done, there's still more to do. You can do a whole bunch of other things in this game. You can play the story again, or you can play, as my nephew told me when he completed it, there's some characters you got to choose whether you want to follow this character to this storyline to go somewhere else, or this one to others. So you can go back. There's replay value with this. Okay. It's worth every penny. And I mean, if you're a big fan, or if you just want to wait for it to get discounted or whatever like that, either or. If you're dying to play it or you want to wait for it, I would get it as soon as you can, whenever you want to get it. It's a great game.
It's really customizable as well.
Yes.
You can customize your characters. You can customize your gear. So it puts a little bit of, I mean, it's not a role-playing game by any means. It's a fighting game through and through, but it puts a little bit of that role-play ability into your character, at least, because you can set up, I think, up to 5 different loadouts of how you want your character to be armored, or what weapons you want.
Or they give you skins and they make that character, like Supergirl can become Power Girl. Green Lantern, you can get John Stewart, and Flash, Reverse Flash. And I'm sure they're going to do a lot other characters that we might get so-and-so and this person and that person. So it's really a lot of
and they added a lot of characters. If you played the first one, they added a lot of characters. They took some away, which was disappointing to me. Like, I miss, like, Zatanna isn't on it. She was really one of my favorite characters in. You never know; they
might do something.
But they added so many. I mean, they added Atrocitus, and they added Swamp Thing and Gorilla Grodd, and these characters are so much fun to play. Damian Wayne, Robin, just very, very cool game. Very, very cool game. I love it.
Yeah, and if you want to know a little bit, I'm just like I was telling Tim. Tim asked me, and he also asked Ryan too. Well, what Injustice comics to get? Well, you start with year 1 to year 5. That is set before the game starts. This is what happens.
And Ground Zero, right?
And Ground Zero takes place during the game, and it's just based on Harley Quinn. What was she doing on the sidelines when all the other stuff in the game was going on? What was she doing? That's all that Ground Zero is. That story in itself, and the year 1 to year 5 was friggin' great. You see the rise of Lord Superman and Dictator Superman. You just see him do some fucked up shit. He fucked up a lot of characters that I love. I mean, the shit that, wow. I mean, there's some moments you're like, he did what? Yeah, he did that. He went beyond fucking Crazyville, and it's just a lot of good. It's a good read. I recommend you've got a library, rent them, read them. You'll enjoy them because finding the single issues is a pain in the ass. They really are. They didn't make that many prints. I found them. Oh, well, I'm just saying, physical copies, Tim. Physical.
The fuck is
These
that?
are purchased, legally downloaded copies, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't promote downloading illegal shit. But hey, if you got them,
wait a minute. It's not illegal because technically it did start as a digital comic first. But
there you go.
There you go. So we're in the clear. We have no lawyers suing us. Okay. But
let Jim Starlin find out about it.
Yeah, don't let you. What the fuck? What? So we can copy Darkseid again? No, fuck him. Anyway,
he's got an army of lawyers, so watch out.
I'll write you a strongly worded letter.
Yes, I know. Marky 316 is no longer on the Team Jim. Oh fuck. Anyway, Injustice 2, great game. I love it, and I've been playing that, and also Friday.
Who's your favorite character? Can I ask?
Who's my favorite character?
Yeah.
Only because I'm a horror fan. Right now, I'm really digging Scarecrow.
Robert
Englund's voice.
That's the last thing that would have popped in my head. Like if you're playing a Street Fighter type fighting game, that you would pick Scarecrow.
His dynamic, his versatility, like the way
He's
his
got some
movements are,
moves.
is pretty good.
You know what? You know which one I'm talking about, where he's
Yeah.
swinging the thing, he's beating the belt, and just the things that he say, because I'm a big horror fan, and Robert Englund did the voice for Scarecrow. So
Really?
it's real,
Wow.
yeah. So you technically got Freddy Krueger in the game.
And, what's his name? I forget. I don't know his name, but he did.
Oh, the Batman guy. Kevin
Star
Conroy.
Trek. The guy from Kevin Conroy does Batman.
Mm-hmm.
The guy from Star Trek Deep Space Nine did the
I
voice
guess
of
I should get a
Brainiac.
PS4 then, huh? Shit.
Anyway,
I know who you're talking about.
yeah, if you listen to his voice, it's that like alien, the bad, the people from that other dimension. They had that-
Romulans?
No,
Ferengi?
it was Deep Space, or was it
Ferengis?
Voyager? Maybe it was Voyager. Anyway,
Dudes from Uranus.
Uranus.
alien race. They were
The Outer Rim.
The outer,
the outer rim of Uranus.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Outer Rim.
Anyway,
Pirates.
it's a recognizable voice.
And Tara Strong is back as
Um,
Harley Quinn as her squeaky voice self. So
Yeah.
you got all the good characters.
Sounds like
I enjoyed
a
Robin.
good
He's
animated
fun.
fucking series or something,
Dude,
right?
you can watch this as a fucking movie, like with all.
No,
these
I've seen the
people-
cutscenes, man, on
Dude,
YouTube. Yeah, they're fucking
It's
good, man.
really a good story, man, and I would not be surprised if they tried to some way turn it into the film, because that BBS, that dream sequence with the parademons and Superman, that's an Injustice scene right there. That's from the mind of Injustice right there.
I don't know why, like all the cutscenes they did for the video games for DC, and even the ones in Marvel, like Avengers Assembled. Have you ever seen those
Yeah.
cutscenes where they're all fighting each other? Man, just splice them together and make a fucking movie out of them.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's
They could.
literally over an hour of good entertainment, fucking fun,
Yeah.
man. I mean,
Nice.
But some people play the games just to get to the cutscenes.
I'm one of them. I want to see this story. I want to see where it goes.
So, are you guys gonna get Marvel versus Capcom Infinite?
I'm
No, I'm
I'm
gonna
probably
get the other
not.
one,
I'm not a
though.
Capcom guy, and Marvel, you know me.
I'm gonna get the Marvel game though, the one they're coming out with that's taking what was that Ultimate Avengers Assembled game that they had, the 4-player game?
Right.
The console, they're remaking that in an Avengers game. So, because they haven't done shit. The last good fucking Marvel game was a Spider-Man game from like.
Well,
the
didn't they just
2000s.
don't they have one that's in like an online one now?
It's a mobile one. It's a
Oh,
mobile
they've
game.
been
No,
doing the
it's
online
it's
stuff
not a
forever
mobile
now.
one.
All
It's-
their.
Well, it's Marvel versus Capcom again. That's the new one that we're talking
hang
about.
on, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not familiar. I mean, there's a lot of. I know that's their big thing, Marvel versus Capcom. That's their fighting game. So people love that game. What was it? The second one, everybody praised about that. They even had a long ass tournaments. I mean, that was one of the big tournament games that all the gamers used to do, and why not bring it back, and so people can get into it, especially with these systems are friggin' nuts, man. And we're still gonna get upgrades with these things, man. I mean, I'm telling you, 3D shit, man. The fucking thing's gonna come at you and punch you in the face.
VR. You gotta play a VR game.
No, it's called.
I
Marvel,
know. I'm not even with the VR. Just actually looking at the TV, and the TV comes out and it fucking chokes you.
It's called Marvel Heroes Omega.
Okay.
It's gonna be an online, like.
Yeah, Marvel made a big push where they're
Marvel
trying
game.
to get their gaming division back up, and they signed with somebody. I forgot who. It was a reputable company though. But in the past, they hadn't. I think they hooked up with Activision or somebody, but I forgot who the new developers are. But they
But this
finally
is
got
going to
it.
be a what is that, MMORPG?
Yeah.
So this is like one of those big, massive, everyone who plays is someone, you know what I mean? But it's in the set in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, remember
I
the
think
first one?
PS4, PC, and Xbox is going to get
Yeah, I
it.
think the first one. Remember Champions? It wasn't even Marvel or DC. They were just like generic superheroes that came out in like, god damn, the early 2000s or something.
Yeah,
That's
it was
right.
City of Heroes.
Yeah, City Heroes. Yeah.
Yep, and then they did the DC Universe Online.
Mm-hmm. Which I
Where
played.
you want to talk
a
about
couple of times.
cutscenes? No, it wasn't even a cutscene. It was the cinematic trailer that they used.
Oh yeah, the beginning before. Oh,
when they were all
shit.
fighting.
Dude,
And,
dark as fuck, man.
Shazam, does all that or not? Yeah, goes crazy. Or no, was it Black
How about the
Adam?
Black
Lex
Adam.
Luthor.
The Luthor scene was brutal
yeah.
with Wonder Woman, man. I mean, we're talking.
You would do a movie like that. That would be insane.
That would be a great opening for like a multiverse or
Yeah.
some shit like that. I'm telling you, man. There's some good things that they do with. I mean, just all superheroes in general.
Well, those Star Wars those
Oh.
online Star Wars games, those cinematic trailers were friggin'
The new
unbelievable.
Battlefront looks
Some of the best
amazing.
Star Wars shit I've ever seen. To be
The
honest,
new Battlefront,
Right. Oh, yeah.
Battlefront's going to be amazing. I'm hearing.
That really looks
Here we go,
amazing.
Jesse. Jesse, we'll drop news since it came out 3 days ago.
Oh, okay.
That Marvel may have given away the title of this. So Square Enix is the studio that's doing the next game.
Okay.
And apparently Marvel's in trademarking something called Marvel Rising. So that could be possibly the new title of the game.
Interesting.
Yeah, Marvel filed trademarks in categories that don't normally file them in, specifically cosmetic, household items, and video games. Below are one of the 9 trademarks is Marvel Rising. So they're thinking, because if you look at it, it was just called, the original Square Enix trailer was called The Avengers Project. If you go on YouTube and look for it,
I think I remember that. Yeah.
The Avengers Project announcement trailer. And that was the announcement that they made with Square Enix that they were doing a new video game, and it's going to be Marvel Rising. So Square Enix is a good video game studio.
they have some good stuff.
Right. So they got a good company and all that stuff. So I'm sure, they'll do it right.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, I mean, Marvel was only known for what? Their good arcade games, right? Back in the 90s.
Oh, the X-Men game.
The X-Men.
yeah.
The X-Men game.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. Everybody. How many people fought to play Wolverine in that game? Everybody. I always. Everybody wanted to be Wolverine. I'm not playing Cyclops. You be Cyclops. Yeah.
Did you play the home or the console at the arcade, or both?
Arcade, man.
Arcades.
This is like the last era of the arcade games when those games came out. Remember that? Yeah. It was, those were like the 2 or 4 player games, and then they all disappeared. So you go to like Dave & Buster's, or just 2 of the same games. It's either a shooting game or a fucking driving game at Dave & Buster's. It fucking sucks, man.
I mean, it's just, it was that was it. That was almost the tail end of arcade places and whatever, because Mortal Kombat held a stranglehold a little bit and kept it going. But once those consoles came out, and everybody just getting those console games, and they can get them exactly the same as the arcade game. So why am I going to put the quarters in when I can just pay $50 and play it all day, all night, and lose my rest and my life?
And then it was those, it was the zombie shooting games like House of Dead and all these games.
Right, House of Dead, right.
Time Crisis was my favorite too.
Time Crisis.
Time Crisis, right.
You had to fucking reload the gun and shit. Like, God damn, what the
Nice stuff.
Yeah. Do you guys remember there was a thing called, I think it was the BattleTech Center. It was based on BattleTech, and it was basically an arcade, but it was devoted to just this one game. So you would go in, they had like a, they had like a prep room, like a war room, and you would get like your orders, your ready orders or whatever, and you would go and sit in this console that looked like a giant, like a mech. And it was one of the first games to actually be connected to a bunch of the other players. So you would actually play.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I've seen it. I didn't play it because it's like what the fuck is going on? I'm a kid or whatever. I'm like, I'm not even gonna touch this one.
No, it was pretty cool. I mean, like I said, one of the first ones where it was actually, connected to some of the other consoles, a bunch of them, and you would fight them. I know they had like the NASCAR game and stuff like that, but this was like running around fighting.
Had rows of them. You had the rows of 10 people and that Daytona USA. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, we would just go to work at happy hour, and we'd just get drunk, and we'd go into Daytona. We call it redneck racing. And we just get drunk. We wouldn't let anybody hop in it. All 10 of us racing and shit for like a fucking hour at a time, dude. Fuck up our asses. We got like $200 on our fucking Dave & Buster's energy card or whatever, sliding in and shit.
Mm-hmm. They had a game where you would, well, not a game, but like a thing where you would go up and punch it, and it would measure how hard you punched it, a punching bag.
They also had the boxing game where you had to stand up and put these. Dude, you literally sweated after that, and it will tell you.
That was too much work. Fuck that shit.
I went there. I fought for the title, and I won the belt. I came out off the game. I am soaking wet. I needed a towel and shit because I drenched so much sweat, because you actually have the 10-pound gloves or whatever it was, and you got to throw the punches like that. That was
just another game. Tuesday night for Marky, huh? Just sweating.
It was just sweating
in water, like
sweating to the oldies.
They started these up in LA, and they started getting popular. They're barcades where it's a full bar, and they have like nothing but vintage games in there. So that take quarters, not tokens. They take quarters. Like the most expensive games were the ones that were 50 cents. Remember those? They used to take 2 quarters. Yeah. And then there's one in LA, and then another one opened up, and then they closed down because they got sued for using the word barcade that somebody trademarked somewhere back east. And in Vegas, there's a huge one that's a barcade. It's big ass bar with a bunch of stand-up arcade games, and you can rent consoles and sit there with your buddies and just get drunk and playing a console.
Wow.
Kind of odd. So I forgot the name of the place in Vegas, but people were telling me to check it out. They have like a whole room for just pinball games. You know, I'm a pinball wizard, but I don't want to, you know.
He's a pinball wizard. Yeah. A little who there. Sorry. Anyway,
like
JLS. I'm falling asleep, bro.
Yeah, we were just about to close it down. Yeah. So it's running late. So
yeah, we've been off a little bit.
Yeah, I got my fucking hot wings are getting closed. In case you didn't know, Tuesday, Buffalo Wild Wings, 50% off.
Huh.
Motherfuckers. And
every Tuesday.
You didn't tell me. I got Buffalo Idiot Wings over here.
15 wings for $10, dude. I'm about to tear that shit up.
Do it. Blue cheese or ranch, motherfucker.
Both. I live dangerously.
Both. It's got to be blue cheese all the way.
All right, guys. Let's run down the panel real quick. Say what you want to say, your final thoughts, whatever. And we'll close it out here. But we started with. Actually, we'll start with Tim. We'll go backwards this time. So Tim, Marky, and then Ryan.
Thanks for joining us. We had fun. Almost 2 hours. Fuck, it's been a while since we did a 2-hour one. So thanks everybody for hanging out. And if you're in the room, thumb this bitch up. Out.
All right. Well, anyway, yeah. Thanks, Jesse, for allowing us to come on your show and everything. I had a good time as always. Always like talking to you, even on the off thing and everything like that, and messages and whatever. And everybody in the chat and everything, you guys know who the hell you are and everything like that. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Everybody's awesome that I know. Of course, all the panel members. And hey, tune in to next Monday for the New York Warriors show, because I'm definitely going to plug my boys and everything like that, because those guys rule. They're a great bunch of guys, and I
heard you like plugging your boys.
Oh, you fucking Marvel boy motherfucker.
You can't let you just say that without somebody pulling you on it. I mean, you just said you're going to plug your boy, so you're
and then he said he's going to pull you on it.
Wow.
Yeah. See, we're over the adult hour now, so this is where I got to sign off. Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck shit, piss, cut, lick, cock.
You know, Marty,
the kids to bed.
Lover, is going to come on here with his date soon. You know that.
Tranny fuckers unite.
Oh. Marty's not here, so we can't go that route.
Marty's handling something at the moment.
He's here in spirit. Spirit of Caitlyn Jenner.
I saw him in the live chat for a second.
Yeah, he popped in between ball washings.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, Ryan.
I just want to say thanks for the invitation. I enjoyed my debut on the JLS Comics show. I hope this is not my last appearance.
Hey, and your microphone didn't cut out after an hour.
No, I invested a little bit in some equipment.
That's a miracle in itself.
I know. Can you believe it? It's a new era.
We may come back.
So anyway, thank you so much. I enjoyed myself. I had a great time. Great conversation. Great topics. And I look forward to seriously doing it again anytime. Thank you.
Awesome. Right. Well, thank you guys for coming on. You can see it was just me, not my usual panel. So you guys really helped me out here. So I appreciate that. Jesse. But above and beyond, it was a lot of fun. You guys are always welcome back, of course. So anytime you want to be on here. And a big shout out to the people in the chat. I know I didn't, I usually like to go through and, be really interactive with the chat as well. Didn't get to that as much today, but I did see everybody in there. So props to everybody for, and hair plugs to everybody.
Damn it, Tim! I'm telling you, you motherfucker! Damn.
Hey man, he brought it up. Shit.
I know. You know what? All you plugging muds. You know what? That's it. I'm done.
Plugging and pugging.
On that note, we're done. We'll see you next week.
All right, later, all you fuck.